Disclaimer before I start this video, I am not naked, I have a top on, and my hair is looking a little rough right now. I know it's because I'm taking my hair out tomorrow because it's these braids, these twists. I'm so tired of twists. They frizz so easily. They're so cute for like a week and then they frizz and so aggravating. And I need to take them out, but I couldn't take them out today because I was busy. This video is really gonna be for these people who are entering freshman year of high school. Just finished freshman year, so I obviously don't know everything about high school yet. There's so much that's gonna come my way and I got a lot of things coming at me.
You've got a big storm coming.
Watching these videos last summer, I feel like they kind of helped me, and also I listened to a lot of my sister's advice because, you know, she graduated college this year and she did really well in high school and in college, and she had really great insight. So first things first, I'm going to be talking about is grades. And I feel like people in freshman year, they don't realize how important grades are because they think like, oh yeah, this is like a test trial year, you know, I don't have to care about my grades. That is where people go wrong. I can't stress how wrong that whole idea is. I've seen so many people who had so great grades in middle school, they just plummet because they didn't earn any work. Don't treat it as a test trial year. Treat it like you're running in, it's a race. That's when the race begins. You don't have to race as hard as you might have to race like in a junior year, but you should not be like completely walking in the race. That's how I'm gonna use an analogy. Personally for me, I tried to keep straight A's this year. That was my goal from the beginning of the year and I achieved that goal. And I know that classes are gonna get harder as I go along. I just said, why don't I try to keep my GPA as high as possible? When it gets harder and I make it like a B, it won't hurt me that bad. Next comes with getting involved. I know, like reflecting on where I got involved as much as I can, but I feel like I stressed myself out way too much about my extracurriculars. I just feel like doing clubs, you don't do it so much for colleges, especially in 9th grade, but do it for your interests, because colleges, what they like to see is more like you're passionate about these things. Even if you're not joining like 6 clubs, you don't have to be stacked, because sometimes that's not even the best thing, just being stacked clubs. You should have at least like 2 clubs you're really passionate about. If you're in a situation like me, you don't know what you want to do, don't worry about it. 9th grade, don't freak out about it. You're gonna just get really anxious and your anxiety is gonna go up like I did. 3 is a social life. Middle school, I was really social. I loved going out, but I feel like in 9th grade, I didn't even want to go out. Like, I'd get invited and I make excuses not to go out. And it's not necessarily that I had so much homework, it's because I was so drained and I was like, I can't go out. Like, just this thought of seeing people from school, even if they were my friends. I wish I went out more. Looking back, whenever I go out, I feel like I can relieve stress, and I feel like I'd be less stressed than I was this year. So it's important to have that balance of your social life, your extracurriculars. I mean, I feel like you can hang out like once or twice a week and still be okay. Even once a week or every other week, I think that's good. Get involved. You know, I try to get involved sometimes. Go to basketball games, go to football games. They're really fun. You go to football games against opposing teams. Those are the most lit. Go to homecoming. You know, homecoming is kind of expensive, you know, you don't have to, but I would recommend going to homecoming. It's actually really fun. Involved for your school, you meet new people, and usually school events, you know, sponsored by student government are really fun. So I would just suggest getting involved. Know that your friends that you come in with to school with might not be your friends. There's a good chance they might not be your friend when you leave 9th grade, or your friends group will start to get smaller. That's okay, because people change. Drama happens, especially in high school and middle school. You know, people in high school, when they get to high school, they start experimenting. For me, it was a real culture shock, because I went from a really small middle school with like 200 kids where no one did any drugs or like alcohol. Like, maybe they vaped, but no one did anything like extreme. I went to high school and then I see people doing drugs I didn't even know like they had in high schools. I'm not gonna be one to say like, oh, like if you do drugs you're like horrible. I don't do drugs. I don't feel the need to. Also, I have really strict parents. That being said, like, I just don't get into peer pressure. Like, I know people who do it and I'm like, just don't try to peer pressure me or make me feel bad for not doing it, because that's just my choice. Something I've always known that I don't want to get into. I think like once you set that, you're so determined not to do it. I have nothing like wrong. Like, I'm not shaming anyone who does it, because you can do it. I just don't like when people try to make me feel less because I don't want to do drugs. I'm always obviously like, you do you. But I also think there should be a limit about if you are going to do those things. I don't feel like, especially in 9th grade, when your brain is still developing, I don't think there's any reason to do like hard stuff like exams, like a lot of times, because that stuff can really mess and trigger you. Popping pills, I don't see the point in those at all, because I just don't think they're necessary. So I would say, especially in freshman year, stay away from popping pills. It's not necessary. And that just goes hand in hand with like peer pressure. If you have a strong mind, you're not easily influenced. You have a group of friends who will support you in all your decisions. Teachers in middle school tell you that they make high school out to they make it seem worse than it actually is. Like they say, oh, you can't use your phones, you can never turn in late work. Turning late work, I'll get into that later, but you can use your phones. Like most of the time, if you're gonna use your phones, you have to be smart. You have to be smart. Most teachers are pretty lenient on your cell phone use. My Spanish teacher, I used my phone the whole class and she would see it. She didn't care. But you have to know those teachers who aren't. And they'd be like really strict old school teachers. And even then, sometimes if I really needed to, I would use my phone. But you have to be really careful. They also say the homework load's a lot. I don't think the homework load was that much. It's pretty much the same same homework load I got in 8th grade, maybe just a little bit more, but it was like nothing too shocked, because like I feel like it progressed. I got to 8th grade and 9th grade, and it was like a little bit homework. Sometimes I didn't even have any homework. And talking about homework, balancing your schedule when you play sports or do extracurricular activities and finding time to do your homework can be so stressful. Like at 9th grade, I don't think it's that big of a stress because you don't get that much homework. So if anything, you can do your homework. You get school early. I have a free period. Usually in 7th period, I don't do anything. I either am watching a movie or finishing my math homework for the next day, because I hate doing homework at home. Like I try everything in my possibility not to do homework at home. If my teacher assigns it, we're not doing anything in class. Instead of using my phone, which is really tempting, I'll do my homework and then I can use my phone like when I get home. This is my last advice, and I feel like it's really important. Small groups are just better. If you feel like you need to have like a huge group of friends to be popular, like popularity doesn't matter. You can still be like well known, I guess, if you have a small group of friends. Like a small intimate group of friends like a freshman year is, honestly what I can say is that it wasn't horrible. Like it was a lot more hyped up. Freshman year is a change from middle school, and there's gonna be changes. You're gonna lose friends. You might make wrong decisions, and it's okay. You can remember that you can bounce back from those wrong decisions or that bad test grade. It's not the end of the world, but it matters more that you're willing to accept that you made a wrong choice and you can move forward and better yourself. I hate high school, point blank, but high school is not the end of the world. Like it's not as like bad as people make it out to be. I just don't like high school because it's draining. I'm gonna be honest, it's so draining, and it's only gonna get even more draining. But freshman year, it's not the worst. It's not the end of the world. It's not gonna. You're not gonna it's not bad at all. It's school. So yeah, that's just my honest opinion. That's all I can really say. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure you comment down below what you guys want to see from me, whether it's more back to school or school related videos as school gets closer, more advice videos, because I feel like more like if you're moving different schools, I can do like just a video just on that, because I didn't really touch on that in this. If you're in middle school, I can do advice just on that. And make sure you like this video, you follow all my social medias, they're always down below, and yeah, I'll see you guys next time.